Yo, what's up, guys? How about those Dallas Cowboys defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 26-24? Now, guys, obviously before the start of this game today, we knew the Dallas Cowboys had gotten eliminated from the playoffs today because the Washington Commanders had beaten the Philadelphia Eagles 36-33, which mathematically eliminated the Cowboys, which, if you guys ask me, was an absolute sign of relief because if I think we could all agree as Cowboy fans that there's absolutely no reason why the Cowboys going to the playoffs would benefit them, as I have stated in many other videos. Of course, going to the playoffs with the way this team is right now, they're banged up playing with their backup quarterback. Would have made no sense for this football team to go to the playoffs and play a tough team like the Eagles or possibly the Vikings. You know, it doesn't matter. Vikings not really, because we don't know yet what's going to happen with the North between Detroit and Minnesota. So it could be Detroit. It would have been Detroit and Minnesota, Philadelphia. It doesn't matter. It would have been a tough matchup for the Cowboys regardless. So, going into this game, I just had a feeling that the Cowboys were going to play with a lot of freedom, knowing that they're out of the playoffs. They could just go out there and play freely. And that's exactly what the Cowboys did, because in that first half, holy shit, the Cowboys offense was clicking like no tomorrow. The Cowboys offense scored 5 times on their 6 drives in the first half, guys. Really good job by the Cowboys offense. Cooper Rush had a really good half, throwing 18 for 24, 226 yards, a passing touchdown. He did get sacked once, but Cooper Rush had a really solid first half. And now, obviously, CeeDee Lamb, who's been playing with a really bad shoulder these last 3 to 4 weeks, he had an incredible first half. 6 receptions, 100 yards. CeeDee was an absolute dog in that first half. And we see CeeDee, he falls down on his shoulder on one play in the first half. And CeeDee's on the ground, you know, battling through injury. Even though this team's not even in the bloody playoff picture anymore, CeeDee Lamb's battling every drive, every snap. It's like the guy's an absolute warrior. I have nothing but respect for CeeDee Lamb. What a great half he had. Like I said, 6 receptions, 100 yards. Guys, really good job by CeeDee Lamb. Now, the run game was a bit of a mess. Of course, the run game was an absolute disaster, guys. I would say, like, I'm looking at it right now. Turpin only had 12 yards. DAL had 10 yards off 7 carries. It was like the run game was an absolute mess, guys. But like I said, throwing the football, the Cowboys did a really good job. And Brandon Aubrey, too, guys. This guy here, he's got over 14 plus 50-yard kicks, guys, this year, field goals. It's absolutely incredible. I think it's an NFL record now for Brandon Aubrey. Great job by him. The Cowboys go into that half, guys, with 23 points. Really good job by the Cowboys, taking the lead on the Buccaneers going into the half, guys. So, Cowboys did a really good job in the first half. Now, in the second half, I will say, the Cowboys offense was not that good, of course. You know, the Cowboys offense only scored 3 points in that second half, guys. Cowboys only had 1 drive in the second half on the third quarter, guys. And it was not a really good second half for the Dallas Cowboys offensively, guys. Like I said, in the fourth quarter, Tampa Bay, you know, they had some trouble scoring. Dallas's defense, who was fantastic in this game. I will say, guys, the Cowboys defense was really good in this football game, guys. Really good job by the Dallas Cowboys defense. Spectacular job by Mike Zimmer today. Like I said, the Cowboys were playing with a lot of freedom, of course, because they got eliminated, but you got to give the Cowboys defense some credit. Did a really good job. Okay, Tampa Bay scored a late touchdown later in the game, but you got to give guys like Deron Bland credit for that strip sack guy, strip fumble, guys. You also got to give Lewis some credit for that interception at the end of the game. Tampa Bay could have drove downfield, gotten a field goal to win the game by a point. You know, so, and the Cowboys defense did a good job getting to Baker Mayfield. 4 sacks, guys, in this game against the Buccaneers. Really good job by the Cowboys, guys. And they end up going on to win this game by 2 points, 26-24. Like I said, Jordan Lewis had that great interception at the end of the game, which prevented Tampa Bay from driving downfield. So the Cowboys do get a win, guys. Very good for the Cowboys, but does it benefit them? No, of course, because obviously we want them to get a top draft pick. And then after the Cowboys win, right, you see Jerry Jones strutting down to the locker room, giving himself a little clap. He's all excited, you know. Jerry Jones makes me sick, you know. He's happy when he's not supposed to be. It's like, I can't understand this old man beyond belief, guys. It drives me nuts to watch Jerry Jones talk. Then after the game, he starts talking about, yeah, me and Mike McCarthy met up before the game, and it looked like somebody had died. I was like, oh my God. It's like, do you guys not understand? Like, I understand from a competitive standpoint that the Cowboys want to win football games. But right now, it doesn't do them any benefit. Like, for Christ's sakes, man, you know, if they win their next 2 games, They're going to be over 500. They're going to be a 9-8 team, guys. Like, you know what I mean? The Cowboys won 4 of the last 5 games. We are really screwing ourselves by not getting Ashton Genty if we continue to win games like this, guys. Like, honestly. Like, I wanted the Cowboys to tank after Dak went down in Week 9 against the Falcons. I really did. But then the fucking team decides to go, you know what, we're going to win out almost. And if they didn't make that mistake with Olawarrior touching that football, the Cowboys would have won 5 in a row. They'd still be alive for the playoffs. You know, they got Washington coming up. They have the advantage the Cowboys on Washington. They beat them on their home field. So it would have been an absolute mess for the Cowboys. Right? If they had won against Cincinnati, they would have probably won out, possibly. Probably maybe would have beaten the Eagles. Who knows, right, guys? Who bloody knows? But luckily enough, they didn't do that. They did win this game. Very good job. Listen, I'm going to give the team some credit, okay? They did a really good job. Defense battled. They were battling this team. You know, all game they were battling, you know, and it drives me nuts to see them battling like this because I've been wanting the Cowboys to make a coaching change for a while now with Mike McCarthy at the end of the year. But now that the Cowboys have won 4 of their last 5, I think he sealed his job for next year for sure. He's going to get at least a 2 to 3 year extension, I think. Honestly, guys, I'm starting to admit defeat now that the Dallas Cowboys will hire a new head coach this offseason. I'm starting to admit defeat on it, honestly, because watching Jerry Jones talk about Mike McCarthy, how he says he's got the Cowboys battling, he's a really good coach, all this stuff. I can see the underlining thoughts from Jerry Jones. You know, he did say, hold your horses. You know, it doesn't mean I'm going to extend them, but we know Jerry Jones, guys. I know for a fact that if the Cowboys do beat the Eagles and the Commanders, he's 100% getting re-signed. 100%. Mike McCarthy will get re-signed. If he wins these last 2 games, like I said, that'll be 6 wins out of the last 7 games. You know, there is no way in hell Jerry Jones is letting him walk after he does that. I just don't see it happening, guys. I really don't. So if they do win out the last 2 games of the year, guys, I'm guaranteeing Mike McCarthy's getting extended, and I absolutely hate it. I still think the team needs a coaching change. They need to bring somebody in a little bit more serious. But if the Cowboys win football games the way they are now, there's no way Jerry Jones is making a coaching. He's just not, guys. Now, another thing I'm going to say, like I said, about CeeDee Lamb, second half he was really quiet compared to the first half. You know, he was sitting out a lot of, like I said, with the shoulder injury. He's saying he's just really dealing with it. You know, just wants to be out there battling for the guys. Love that attitude from CeeDee Lamb. You know, obviously, he's one guy. Then you got the other guy like Micah Parsons talking about his contract, how he doesn't need $40 million. Micah Parsons needs to keep quiet, get to the offseason, and then you can figure it out then. You know, he's talking too much about the contract. You know, all this other stuff. You know, when the offseason starts, he's going to be on his podcast left and right. It's going to be an absolute headache and a half for us Cowboy fans and for the organization, of course. But listen, guys, very good win by the Dallas Cowboys today, defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know, I really like their fight in their game. But like I said, guys, I want the Cowboys to draft Ashton Genty. He is the number 1 priority I want the Cowboys to draft. He would absolutely change the Cowboys' offense. If they keep on winning bloody football games, we're going to keep slipping away from this guy. You know what I mean? We were like at the bottom 5 3 to 4 weeks ago. Now we're like middle of the pack now. It's like the Cowboys do themselves no bloody favors. And obviously, like I said, they got eliminated before the game so they could play with a bunch of freedom, of course. And that's exactly what they did in this game, guys. And you know what? Credit to them. They played well. But winning this game, like I said, is not going to do them any favors, guys. They're just fighting for their coach, it seems like, because they want Mike McCarthy to continue beyond this season, guys. And I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case, guys, moving forward because of the way Jerry Jones is talking and the way other players are talking and all this other stuff going on with the Cowboys. But, guys, that's it for this video today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, click if you like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Have a Merry Christmas, everyone. And remember, if you do not watch sports, you're a mark. Ciao, guys.